So it's a privilege having Professor Macciardi here at the International Training Seminar. So you mentioned in your lecture the theory and the application of genetics in psychiatry research. Which are, in your opinion, the advantages that genetics can offer nowadays in this field?
Well, as of today, genetics is in a transition phase, has been for many years. So the most important point is that we are really moving into an expanded vision of genetics, where we are not only focused, as we were, on single traits and a single nucleotide polymorphic variant, but we are beginning to understand on how to work on the genetics and genomics, which means not only DNA sequences, but even DNA regulation throughout RNA molecules, on a combination of different genes, so how the combination of different genes can work all together in controlling for complex traits. So I think that this is a kind of novelty that the contemporary genetics is really having the tools and the knowledge and the technologies to begin making these studies possible. Otherwise, before it was a theoretical framework, a theoretical construct, but we were not having any kind of real possibility to study. Okay, so we were moving from one gene, one molecule, one hypothetical function, which is not the truth, to the gene as a unit which is integrated within the genome, and we can understand how that gene works in collaboration or cooperation with other genes and to build a functional circuit. I think that is the most interesting point for the application as of today. And mostly what we can do is still based on research, but we are beginning to have some ideas on future applications.
So related to that, which is the role that genetics and genomics will play in the future in this particular field?
Well, I do believe that genetics and genomics will become important tools, as they are already becoming cancer, for example. So my guess is that in the future it will be very difficult, for example, to have any kind of treatment, and I'm not talking about only pharmacological treatment, but I'm talking also about neurobehavioral, psychotherapeutical treatment for mental disorders, without having a more integrated pattern of what a genomic profile of a given individual is. So we are all different, we are all equal, but the difference is that are built up upon the similarities that are common to all of us will make each of us different. And each of us can have a different response to any kind of treatment, and knowing which is our biological profile, our biological and structural makeup based on the genomic structure that we have and the functional organization of our genome will be extremely important to know which will be the best response. Okay, and so for example, just to give you an idea, there are more drugs in development now that are not only related to controlling for proteins or for receptors or for stuff like that, but are much more related to controlling for how a particular set of genes can be expressed. I'm thinking about all the histone modification drugs, which are very primitive in the way they are framed up today, but have a potential important function in modifying the expression profile of genes. And modifying the expression profile of genes means essentially modifying the wiring of our brain. So this is, I think, that it will be a fundamental step.
Thank you very much, Professor.
Thanks to you. Bye.